Today, growth is never doesn't just happen by mere chance. It happens by results of working. So it's the same idea. Luck. I believe that you can create luck or create opportunities. Okay. So today I'm going to cover how to consistently stay top of mind with your customers or clients or connections. How to create loyalty from the very first point of contact. Creative ways to leverage email marketing and social media platforms to increase engagement. How to use events, both virtual and real when you're allowed to do those, to grow your value of your connections, and then use virtual networking as an opportunity to create and increase engagement. This talk, I'm going to go really fast, but you'll get a copy of this presentation. You can also get a copy of my book. You can my law firm business growth strategies book. If you email me, I'll send you a PDF. If you email me your address, I'll mail you a hard copy. They're on Amazon, but if you just email me, I'll send you PDF or a copy of the book. This slide says I'm famous. I do a lot of stuff. I work with a lot of law firms and other businesses to help them grow, both marketing-wise, operations-wise, everything. This slide here is a slide that I put into every single presentation I give this year, which I think I've done about, 70, 80 talks this year since COVID. And this slide is really important. And it kind of covers a lot of my philosophies. So the first thing is you need to focus on the things you can control and not the things you cannot control. So write down a list of 10 things that you can control. And like, for example, see this little dot right here? That just happened because I drank some apple juice right before I started and spilled on the shirt. And I'm like, well, whatever. Can't really control that, but I noticed there's a dot there. Now, am I supposed to point it out? No. But, it's like, what can you do about it? So I just put that aside and then I focus on the 10 things I can control, which is, I do know this talk really well. I've done this talk 150 times. And I do believe in this philosophy of focusing on the 10 things you can control. So write down a list of those, focus on those. The 10 things you can't, put it aside. And when things change, then you can add those. Next one is consistency. So consistency is 3 lunch meetings per month. Well, because of Iris, it's kind of hard to have lunch meetings. It means you save money, but you have to have 3 meetings a month, virtual meetings with potential clients, strategic partners, people like that. But in general, what you want to have, the number one way I've grown a lot of law firms is by having a top 20 list, your top 20 strategic partners. So if you do estate planning, that would be fiduciaries, hospice care people, insurance agents, Medicare people, the courts, other attorneys that practice in other areas of law. So that you're doing estate planning, you're reaching out to these other financial advisors, other people, they're strategic partners. I have a top 20 list of those people. You introduce them to people, they introduce you to people. You do events together, you do different things together, you belong to associations together, estate planning groups or whatever. And so by having a top 20 list of the top strategic partners, people that introduce you to people, refer you business, you then have 3 lunch meetings, or in this case nowadays, virtual meetings a month. 3 times 12 is 36 meetings. If you consistently have those 3 meetings a month, 3, your business will grow. You will get more cases, more clients, more everything. If you stop doing it, your business dives 3 to 6 months later because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, blah, blah. And then you stop doing those lunch meetings or virtual meetings and your business goes down. So it's about being consistent. So at the firms I work with, let's say there's just you, well, 3, but let's say there's 3 partners. Well, then all 3 partners need to have at least 3 meetings a month, 3 times, that's in that case 9. Then each associate, let's say there's 4 associates, each associate has to have at least 1. So now you're doing, 12 meetings a month with potential partners or current partners. And it's keeping your firm in front, on top of mind and out there, and it leads to opportunities. So consistency in referral partner meetings, strategic partner meetings, things like that. Next one is top of mind. So by sending out a monthly newsletter, at least once a month, don't take me out of context, but it doesn't matter what's in the email newsletter. It doesn't matter. No, most people don't open it. What matters is that you send it out. So what matters is who it's from, David Mitroff, Piedmont Avenue Consulting, or CEB or whatever. And then subject line, you are invited to this event, or don't forget to do this before the end of the year, or whatever. That's what most people see. And they see, oh, from David Mitroff. Oh, okay. And they remember you. That's what you want. Don't worry about what's in the newsletter. In the newsletter, the most popular newsletter, I'm about to send it in a couple of weeks, is from David Mitroff, being thankful. This is the time of year I'm thankful we are a connection. Send, and maybe picture me smiling, I don't know, but send. That is the most popular email newsletter I send. People get fixated on all this stuff in there. You have to put all these things on. Nobody reads it. I know you're going to say, yes, some people do, but 20% is good open rate. So, my email list is 35,000. So out of 35,000, 20% is like 5,000 people. That means 30,000 didn't even open it. And then of the 5,000 open it, my mother pretty much the only one that reads the whole thing, So don't obsess, just send it out. So if you do that activity of sending out the monthly newsletter at least once a month, 12 a year, you will grow your business, and it's so cost effective. Okay, we'll get into it more in the talk. The Event Effect. The Event Effect is a book I wrote on how to do events, both virtual and in person. If you want a PDF copy of that, just email me. I'll send you a PDF of that. So the Event Effect is the idea that by hosting events, you can grow your brand, whether they're in-person events or virtual events, whether it's office hours, like, hey, I'll come, answer questions, or a big, huge event where a lot of people come. Either way, it doesn't matter if, don't take me out of context again, it doesn't matter if people come to your event or not. It's you inviting people, inviting. And by inviting, you're creating what I call the event effect. The event effect is that every January, my grandmother would invite everyone she knew. Some people she didn't even like. She would invite them. I mean, people that she really didn't like, no. But every January, these people would come to her house. She'd invite all these people. Some people would come, some people couldn't make it, whatever. But she invited them all. And after the party's over, she said, David, I'm so happy. I said, why is that, Grandma? She said, oh, because I'm done for the whole year. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, I invited every single person I knew, even people I didn't really like. They came to my house, and whether they came or not, I invited them. They all owe me something for the rest of the year. So now I just sit back. It's January. I just sit back, and the rest of the year I get invited to all kinds of stuff. So that's the event effect. So inviting people rather than selling people. So number one, focus on the things you can control. Number two, be consistent. Whether you have a lot of work or no work, you got to be consistent. If not, you look desperate, you charge less, you do all kinds of stupid things. So be consistent in meeting with strategic partners. Number three, stay top of mind by sending out the monthly newsletter. Don't focus on how many people read it, how many clicks, how many links. Just send it out. By sending it out, you're staying top of mind. Number four, inviting people to events. Even if it's in office hours, it doesn't matter how many people come or not. That's not why you do events. Excuse me. I do not have the COVID. I just had a sneeze. But event effect is just inviting people, whether they come or not. By inviting, people feel good instead of selling. Besides, lawyers aren't supposed to sell. All right. So if you do this slide right here, you'll be rich. It doesn't matter if there's a virus or not. This is what we do at my company every week, every day, every month, year round for the last 15 years. All right. So, okay, we covered that. Okay. So staying on other people's minds or thoughts. Doing your best to stay engaged will keep yourself relevant. So the things that I just said a minute ago, by sending out the email newsletter, by reaching out to people to have talks, by inviting people to events, you're staying top of mind. You're staying engaged with people. You're adding value. You're putting stuff out there. Now the problem is, what the heck kind of schedule do you do? And it starts getting overwhelming. Do you post on social media and LinkedIn and Twitter every day? What's the topic of my email newsletter? I just told you the one to send in November, being thankful. The one in the new year, January, is obviously, it's a new year. Boy, I'm excited. That happens every year. When are you not excited about a new year? But the 12-month marketing calendar sets the tone and the foundation for everything. So what you want to do, whether there's virus or not, is you get out the 12-month calendar and you put all the holidays, Festivus, Kwanzaa, Ramadan, Eid, Hanukkah, Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, whatever, all those things. You map those out. Then you map out industry-specific events, conferences, whether virtual or not, just mapping out trends. So if there's a virus, if there's no virus, January, February, the gyms are packed and the restaurants are empty. October, November, December, the restaurants are packed and the gyms are empty. Or real estate sells during the summer more. There's different trends. But when there's a virus, some of that changes. But in general, there's very consistent things that happen. School starts September. School starts here. Well, when students go back to session, there's more of this, more of that, more. Maybe they need more legal services, or maybe they need this, or maybe they need that. There's different trends that happen. And so you map those out. And by mapping those out, it starts telling you what you're going to do. And even with the virus, things do not change that much. Regardless of the challenge that happens, things do not change that much. You still send out your 12 monthly newsletters. And for the most part, out of the 12, Thanksgiving time's the same. New Year's time's the same. The summer time's the same. That at least 6 out of 12, if not more, are the same. So you literally, if you do it this year, you just use the same one next year. You're still thankful that it's this time of the year, that kind of thing. All right. So, but then you're going, but I'm going to say the same thing over and over. Yeah, pretty much. 10 years ago, I do these talks and people would say, wait a second, David, you're going to say the same thing on Facebook, same thing on Twitter, same thing on LinkedIn, same thing. And same thing you said the year before. Oh yeah. They go, but that's just rude. I go, no, because you didn't read it to begin with. And they go, oh, well, that's kind of true. Now nobody says that because there's so much stuff out there. Nobody can possibly read all of it. So the idea is you repurpose and reuse. So everything you do, a blog article, an email newsletter, a post on Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is, you repost, reuse, the same thing. Okay. Because people, and then eventually people start seeing it. You take that same content, make videos. There you go. So you make videos of the same exact content. By making videos of that content, people will actually pay more attention. Right now, if you, on your website, add a video, you have a paragraph on your website, this is who we are, this is what we do. You add a video that says that exact same thing, you'll get more traffic to your website and you'll have more interactions and more people will like hang out with you. Why? Because in the video, you say the exact same thing. So if you say, oh, we're a San Francisco based or Long Beach based or whatever based law firm, we specialize in this, you say that in writing, you say that in video, Google and YouTube go, oh, that's the same thing. We'll send more people there because they say it twice, not just once. Then people come to the website. They don't want to read. They're too tired to read. They just want to watch. And we see a video. We stop and we drool, start watching the video. And the video says the same thing. Oh, I didn't have to read. So much easier. So people pay attention more. They understand better. Next, people stay on your website longer. Instead of like people come, look around, and they leave real fast, they stay longer because there's a video. Because they stay longer, Google goes, well, Google says that's the right site to send more people there. Okay, so I've been a Google mentor for their Startup Accelerator for the last 5 years, and we do a lot of stuff related to video, and it works. Okay, there you go. So rich media, YouTube stuff, do it. Okay, creating loyalty from the first point of contact is really important to have loyalty, and that's what I just talked about. The website, every single firm, every single business needs a website. If you do not have a website, you do not have a business. You need to have at least a one-page website. So if you're working with clients or you're working with your own firm, you got to have a website. And these 3 platforms, Squarespace, WordPress, Wix, all 3, they're free. You can pay more for advanced features, but you can get a Squarespace, WordPress, or Wix website totally free. They're all good. There's pluses and minuses to each one. But at the end of the day, if you can make a one-page website, just very simple, straightforward. We do this, done. You will get business because without that website, you do not control your brand. You have to control your messaging, and all the messaging you do goes through your website. Okay, because from everything you're doing, whether it's Google, whether it's Yelp, whether it's lawyers.com, findlaw.com, TripAdvisor, whatever, all these different sites, they all link back, and the events and the newsletters, they all link back to your website. Your website is the hub. And the website has to be very clear and concise and say who you are and what you do. That's where search engine optimization comes in, or SEO, search engine optimization. Someone goes to Google and puts in, intellectual property attorney, Las Vegas or Los Angeles or whatever. Do you show up? No. Well, you know why you don't show up? Because on your website, you do not say intellectual property attorney, Los Angeles. I know that's who you are and what you do, but you don't actually say that. You actually say, we believe in providing the best service at the most affordable price for our clients. We specialize in intellectual property and we do this, we do that, we do this, is that. You didn't actually say intellectual property attorney, Los Angeles. It's crazy. And then you Google that, you wonder why you don't show up because you didn't actually say that. So this is very common. So you want to look at your website, look at your social media, look at your LinkedIn, summary paragraph on LinkedIn, look at all those things and go, holy crap, I don't actually say the stuff that people Google anywhere. I know you have a great pictures, great this, great that, some nice text, that's a mission statement, that you have the best service, best price, best this, best that. but you actually don't say what people Google. That's why you don't show up. So instead of paying for Google AdWords or paying for Yelp for free, go to every page on your website and add some text. But David, my website looks so pretty and there's all these photos and we have a little bit of text. I know. That's why you don't show up. So below that little bit of text, add another paragraph that says, so if you are looking for looking for an estate planning attorney or an intellectual property attorney or a contract attorney or a business, a corporate attorney, in Los Angeles, Long Beach, Cerritos, Bellflower, or in San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, where in the San Francisco Bay Area, or wherever your market is, then look no further than us, because we help people do and this. Those are the things that people Google. All right. So in addition, the other thing that happens is on your website, you don't tell people what to do. I know, you're like, what? It's like, no, if I go to your website on every single page has to tell me what to do. Now, this is where there's choices. The call to action. The highest level is they show up. Well, show up to your house. They really need help or they're crazy. They show up to your house. Next, they show up to your office. Then they call you. Then they email you. They call you. Then they book an appointment on your website. Then they email you. Then they fill out the form on your website. Then they sign up for your email newsletter. So number one, they show up. Number two, they call. Number three, they book an appointment. Number four, they fill out your form on your website. Number three, they sign for your newsletter. So why does your website not say call me today at, or schedule an appointment now and everywhere? Instead it says fill out our form and we'll get back to you maybe if we feel like it in 48 hours. So, or send them to the contact page, and on the contact page there's a form and your phone number is kind of down here small. Put your phone number all over the place. Why? Because what percent of the people that fill out the contact form become your best client versus what percent of the people that call you become your best client? Yeah, the ones that call, right? The ones that actually show up, the ones that book an appointment. Yes, you can put disclaimers everywhere. Just because you call us, you're not our client. But you can just call us, and have someone answer the phone. I had a guy yesterday. No, 2 days ago, he called my office. My employee answered the phone, said, "Oh, how can we help you?" Blah. He said, "I called 20 other marketing firms, blah, blah, blah. None of them answered the phone. You're the only." And it's like, really? Because it's like crazy. It's like, answer the phone or have a answering service. Okay. So with that being said, above the contact form you have on your website, right there's a little sentence that says, fill out this form and we might get back to you if we feel like it. Right there, say, call us now at, and then put your phone number, or fill out the form below if you want. And then on the home, every blog article, every page on the website at the end, blah, 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 blah. So if you need help with your contracts or real estate negotiations or whatever it is, call us today at blah, blah, blah. And guess what? But David, I don't want more phone calls. Oh, okay, I guess you don't want more business. I mean, you can always say no, or you can always have someone else answer, or do it the way I'm saying. And if you start getting way too many spam calls, then make adjustments or change the wording on your website so you get the right calls. All right. This is the next part where I kind of get excited. And you could do this, you could do this, you could do that. And then people start getting, and I'll give you some ideas of how to make it simpler in a minute. But people start getting overwhelmed, right? And there's two concepts here. So one is busy versus full, and one is in the business versus on the business. So busy versus full. People will say to you, oh, you must be so busy. You must be so busy. And you go, yeah, I'm so busy. They're not going to give you more business. They're not going to refer you business. They're not going to introduce you to people. They're not going to. Busy versus full is not, you got to tell them, no, I am not busy. I'm full. They're going to go, oh, really? So yeah, busy is I'm reacting to things. I'm not proactive. I'm just responding. Things are coming at me. I'm busy. I'm not prioritizing. Full means I'm being proactive. I have time to think. I have time to select which projects I'm working on. I'm using my time and blocking out my time effectively. So instead of being busy, be full. And full means you have time for those 3 partner meetings, strategic meetings a month. Full means that you take a minute and have someone send out the email newsletter, or you send it out, even if there's not a lot in there. Full means that you're proactively figuring out how to grow your business. Okay. And full means that you're doing the right activities. And busy means you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing sometimes. So have a paralegal do it, have an associate do it. Or if you don't have those people, outsource some of the stuff that you do over and over and over and over and over. Yes, you can let's say you're working on a good example is you're writing a book, okay? An ebook, or you're writing a little book. You can format it. You know how to use Word, and you can format everything. But you can go on Fiverr, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. You can pay someone $45, $50, and they'll do it for you. $50, and while you're sleeping, they do it, and they sit back, and it's great, and it's done. It's like, but yes, you're smart enough to figure it out. Yes, you could do it. Yes, it might take you an hour, 2 hours, maybe 30 minutes, but for $50, someone else did it, and they do it all day long, and it's done. So then you can go make way more than $50 during that time they were doing that. So if you're busy versus full, if you're focused on full. Now in the business and on the business, in the business, doing those day-to-day things like, well, doing the legal stuff, on the computer, writing up things, doing stuff. On the business is growing the business. So on the business is offering office hours. Well, on your website, say, hey, next Thursday, I'm available for office hours between 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Answer any questions. No one shows up. Okay, well then work on your stuff. But you're still doing on the business stuff because you're available for the office hours if someone wants to talk to you. In the business is, just doing day-to-day email stuff. On the business is really coming up with how to talk to other people you work with, talk to strategic partners, think about what your plan is for next month, next year, doing your 12-month calendar. That's on the business stuff. So just keep that in mind. All right. So in the business, for on, focus, think about what have you done today on your business. Yes, I know you're here, but Okay. So when it comes to networking, you want to network within your group because you learn best practices. That's part of why you hang out with CEB and other groups. Okay. Surround yourself with what you want to become. Hang out with like-minded people. That's why people hang out with me. And then help those who help you. I love helping people. They love helping me. There you go. Okay. Introduction versus referral. This is a big concept too. And once you learn this, it can change. It changes a lot. When you ask for referrals, say, oh, can you refer me to somebody? Or people go, well, hold on. Tell me more about what exactly you're going to do, how you do it, how much you charge. Can you send me this, send me this, send me that? Referral, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I feel comfortable, that kind of thing. That's referral. Introduction is literally, I work with a whole bunch of lawyers. I work with a whole bunch of people, fiduciaries or estate planners. I work with, could you introduce me to them? Do you know, so for example, every single person on this call knows somebody that drives a Tesla. Everybody does. You might not. That's okay. But do you know someone drives Tesla? Because a lot of people that I work with, they drive Teslas. Or I know, can you introduce me? If you know someone drives Tesla, I'd love to talk to them. Can you make an introduction? Oh, sure. I just met David. I don't know. He's cool. He's nice. He works with a lot of people that drive Tesla, or he just gets along with a lot of people that drive Tesla. You drive Tesla. I think you guys should talk. I don't know. See, let me know what happens. That's the introduction. Versus a referral. Well, wait a second. Why exactly do you want to talk to those people? What are you going to do for them? What do I tell them? How do I introduce them to you? How do I do this? How do I do that? What do I say? Can you send me more literature? That's a referral. So just change, unless it's somebody that's worked with you a long time, just start asking for introductions. If you do that, you'll get a lot more meetings. All right. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. That's fine. I can try to incorporate them in. But I know I'm covering a lot. You'll get a copy of this presentation and recording. You'll also get a copy of my book on law firm business growth strategies, which has this plus a whole bunch more in it. If you email me, david@piedmontapp.com, I'll send you a PDF. If you send me your address and everything, I can sign one and mail one to you. All right. Increase engagement. So email marketing, again, is by far the most cost-effective marketing there is. MailChimp, for example, MailChimp.com is free for the first 2,000 contacts. After that, they're all about the same. Robly, Constant Contact, email, MailChimp. There's other ones out there too. But these are all around $20, $30, $40, $50 a month. And yes, you can be more besides the list. But in general, $40 a month, and you're emailing 3,000, 4,000 people. And out of those 3,000 emails, one person is going to do something which automatically pays for the $40. But if you don't have any email newsletter at all, you're just sending things via Outlook and Gmail, I sign for MailChimp for free and just make a template in there that matches your brand and just start sending it out. And again, do not obsess on what's in it. Just send the damn thing out. And by sending it out, it's going to lead to results. So email marketing can easily track who's opening, who's closing, allows people to opt out. It looks professional, it's branded, and you can design it so it matches your materials, like some of these firms. So it's really, really nice. It's really clean. You can spend a lot of time in it, but at the same time, you just send it out. Once you have a template that you like, you can also just put some. If you have an article, you put it in there, or if you have an event coming up, put it in there. But you just be smart about how you do it. Okay. So again, it doesn't matter if people really read it or not. Just send it out. They always read the subject line and who it's from. That's what you want. If I don't send mine out, I can see that people don't read a lot of mine. I have good open rate, but still a lot of people don't read. But when I send it out though, people do call and people do tell me things like, "Oh, I saw you did this. I saw you did this." They're literally reading the subject lines. All right. Now, when it comes to social media, like Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, on and on and on. There's so many. There's platforms out there that allow you to map things out for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Makes your life so much easier. So you can just sit down and literally do it once a month and you're set. So Hootsuite, Buffer, and Later, Later, Buffer, Hootsuite. These three platforms are really great. And I use all three. I actually, the same one, the email marketing, I use all three of those too. I have accounts with all of them for my businesses, but also for my clients. Depending on the client, they use different ones, and I like them all. But what these do is they allow you to auto post for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And if, like, for example, let's say Later, well, all of them, but later.com is free for the first couple of accounts. And if it only let you post 30 days at a time, 30 days in advance. If you pay $10, you can have more accounts. Now you can post 60 days in advance, things like that. So this is Hootsuite here. And the way it works is you actually come up with your 12-month marketing calendar. This is what I'm gonna do for the 12 months. This month, the focus is gonna be X. Okay, the focus is gonna be on X. Well, then let's post on Facebook once a week or twice a week. Let's post on Instagram. Let's post on LinkedIn. Let's do whatever. And here's what we're gonna write about. It's the same stuff because you can repurpose, reuse. And we're gonna put it here, here, here. And you literally sit down, you map it out in here, and you click set, and now it's done. And it will automatically post. Obviously, do not say it's a beautiful day because it's going to rain. But it's going to rain. But the thing is that it's set up and it goes. Now, if you want to add extra things as you go, fine. But at least they're in here and they're going. At the same time, these three platforms monitor all the stuff coming in. So if people like it or engage or and whatever, you're going to see those things coming in, and that's going to help you too. Okay. So this is because we're legal stuff. There's I have a whole thing about social media ethics, and I have a talk, CLE talk on that stuff. But basically, social media does increase, in the ways it's good because you can increase branding. It's good for business development. It's good for socializing and sharing, promoting. But it also does create pitfalls because there's ethical concerns, there's human resource issues, reputation management stuff. So you do want to be smart about what stuff you're putting out there and whatever. And that's where I say things like, don't talk about it's a beautiful day, it will rain, or don't talk about political things. It's about providing information and providing and just keeping people thinking about you and thinking about the industry that you're in and keeping them aware and just showing up so that they go, oh yeah, I know those people. Oh yeah, they're helpful, or oh, I might need help with that. Now, when it comes to advertising on these, I can talk to you more in detail about that another time. But basically, there's rules around that too for lawyers. You want to be smart. Again, automate as much as you can. If you're doing the same thing over and over and over, automate. Hire someone, outsource people to help you do it. So I covered Robly, Buffer, Later. Those are Robly, Constant Contact, MailChimp. Robly, Constant Contact, MailChimp. Those are email marketing. Buffer, Later, Hootsuite, those are the social media automation platforms. And if you basically sign, let's say you do MailChimp and Later, free. Now you got email newsletter for free, and you got automatically posting on social media for free. You do, no, I want more hand holding. Constant Contact. You can call them 24/7. They'll hold your hand and walk you through. It's going to be the same price as Robly, Constant Contact, and MailChimp. Once you have about 3,000 contacts, they're the same price. or whatever. And they're all mix and match. I use all of them and they're good. It's just about what works for you. Okay, event marketing. So we talked about the event effect, and by inviting people to events, it leads to opportunities. Inviting people to events, whether in person or not, whether remote, virtual, whatever, whether people show up or not, it does the same thing. If I invite you, say, like my grandma, I'd love to invite you to come to my event. I'm reinforcing, enhancing brand awareness. You go, oh yeah, who is that person? Oh, what? Oh, they're doing that. Oh, cool. It's lead generation. You can go on LinkedIn and find people to invite new strategic partners, invite new potential clients to your event. It creates better relationships. You're able to meet with people and engage with them and things like that. You're able to collaborate with other people in your industry. So if you're doing, intellectual property stuff, IP stuff, you could partner with a tech company, or you could partner with this thing or that thing. And now you do the event together, and it reinforces your brands and it ties you together, which makes you more valuable to your clients and to them and to everybody. It also lets your audience know what's going on, because see, on social media, how many times can you post a picture of you and your dog? I mean, I don't know. Here's me and my dog. Here's me and my dog. Versus, I'd love to invite you to this event. Here's this upcoming event. Here's this upcoming event. Whether they go to the event or not, it's at least not a picture of you and your dog. Okay, I mean, which is great, but how many pictures of you and your dog can you do? A lot, actually, because I got interviewed by ABC television about that, and it was quite entertaining. Okay, but so let's see. So getting started with events, this is my Event Effect book. It actually literally walks you through who, what, where, why, when, and how to do it, and all the logistics. And I can send you a PDF of that book too if you'd like, for free. Basically, events, people can get overwhelmed. But at the end of the day, in this book, I talk about, well, you can do an event like an office hour and do basically the same. Who? It doesn't matter who shows up. Well, I mean, ideally, it'd be a new potential client, but it's office hours on how to do this, or answer questions about this. It's not a workshop. I'll answer questions. Theme: education. When? Next Thursday at 9 a.m. What does success look like? Success looks like nobody shows up. I just keep doing my regular work. However, there's an event out there on social media, different places that people see, whether they register or not, they see it and they think about me. And maybe one person, or maybe nobody, or maybe somebody sees it, says, oh, I can't make it, but I'd like to talk to you. Okay, that's an opportunity. Or maybe one person signs up, says, I want to talk to you about XYZ. Great. I'll talk to anybody about XYZ because they're a potential client. And then budget? No, why charge? I mean, it's virtual right now. You're still at home. And then partnerships. Well, let's partner with some other group or association, or let's partner with another firm, and the two of us do a joint thing together. That's a good experience. It ties you together. As long as you both understand and appreciate and realize, it doesn't matter if no one shows up. Okay, stuff like that. Where do you put the event? You put the event on Eventbrite for free. If you charge money for an event, then Eventbrite takes 2.5% plus $1 or whatever. But if it's a free event, nothing. And it shows up in Google. It ranks really well. Okay. Saying you put the event on your website, put the event on your social media, put the event all over the place. All right. Here's some example event pages. So immigration law for the curious, a future lawyer business academy, whatever, you just put those on there, and it's just, there you go. And they're free and people can register. We design these in Canva, C-A-N-V-A, canva.com, C-A-N-V-A. It's a free platform to design all kinds of flyers and posters and things. And we go get images, we put them on here. And then what do we do? Oh, and then we put on Eventbrite for free. If it's free, it doesn't cost anything. All right. Next, some event themes, virtual happy hour, virtual event, how to write your own book, okay, things like that. So in general, attendees want to make new connections and knowledge. So just emphasize that. You'll make connections, you'll get knowledge, right? You can conduct a presentation. You could guide people through connection exercises. If it's like you're bringing together some of your strategic partners, have discussion, do an expert panel. You're like, David, I don't really want to talk. Okay, well then, why don't you interview an expert or two experts, things like that. You can use Zoom, which we're doing right now. Yes, Zoom, Skype, Google Meet, Google whatever. Yeah. So I covered a lot, very, very fast, but I did talk about how to consistently stay top of mind, how to create loyalty from the very first point of contact. Definitely in your website. Creative ways to leverage email marketing and social media platforms. Remember, it doesn't matter if people open it. I mean, it'd be nice, but don't fixate on that. How to use events, virtual and live, to grow your business and grow your connections and lead to new opportunities. And how to virtually network and engage with people, and hopefully a lot more. And I covered it pretty fast. Let me see if I have. So here's, you can get a free copy of my book if you, the Law Firm Business Growth Strategies book. It's a legit book. It's pretty big. It's like 200 and some, I don't know how many pages. It's big. But you can email me. I'll send you a PDF. If you email me your address, I'm more happy to send you a physical. I'll sign it, send you a physical copy. And I'm more happy to answer questions. Also, anyone on this call can schedule a free consultation. You just go to piedmontav.com, click book now, and you can schedule a call, or you can email me at david@piedmontav or info. It's fine, it doesn't matter. It all goes to me, well, one of my employees. And you can schedule a free consultation. I'm more happy to talk to you, not sell you, but happy to talk to you, learn more about what your firm is doing or how you're trying to grow, and give you some advice and introduce you to people that I like, because it's all about introducing people to other people. And maybe there's ways I can help you grow your firm, whether it's through marketing, brand awareness stuff, operations, strategy, HR, whatever. I've grown lots and lots of firms. I worked for LexisNexis for 6 years. Northern California. I sold to all the big firms, and then I started my own consulting firm, and I work with tons of law firms. I've spoken at a lot of different conferences and advised, and I have law firm clients right now. And I enjoy it very, very much. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak to your group or to the CEB, and to speak to all the people that are here and all the people that are virtual. So let's see if there's any questions in the chat. Oh, she said CEB uses Canva. Yeah, Canva's awesome. So I think I covered most stuff. What does this say? Thank you. The Business of Law webinar series has been brought to you in collaboration with the Los Angeles Incubator Consortium. To learn more about CEB, please go to ceb.com and create a free account to receive more practice management resources. Nice. But I'll go back to my little thing, because I like me walking. This is at Google San Francisco, because I go, well, not with the virus, but I used to go there a lot. Yeah, so any questions from anyone?
I actually have a question that might help generate some conversation. So let's say you're incorporating all of these tips and that you see your engagement is starting to rise. So folks who are newer to this, can they expect a steady increase, or should they be okay with seeing it dip and plateau as they're sort of getting their footing and adjusting their methods?
Yeah, so the number one thing when it comes to pretty much anything in this world is being consistent. Mm-hmm. And that's where I talk about the 3 lunch meetings or 3 virtual meetings a month. Just, you can't do 3, 0, 6, 0, 3, 0. Like, you got to do 3 a month. It's being consistent. And by being consistent, that's the number one way you're going to grow your business. But that's also the number one way social media is going to work. So the example I give you is YouTube videos. If you say you're going to do a video every Tuesday I'm going to do a YouTube video. I'll see you next Tuesday. How many Tuesdays do you have to do a YouTube video for before people believe that next Tuesday you're going to do one? And my experience is it's 6 months. So it's just like going to the gym or anything else. Like, people don't believe you're going to go. They just don't believe it. So what happens is you post every Tuesday for 6 months. If you do that, all of a sudden around 6 month mark, your subscriber thing, it takes off. It really jumps because people believe that next Tuesday you're going to be there. The other thing that happens, if you do it every single Tuesday, you get better and better and better. Now, with that being said, do you have to actually film it every Tuesday? No, you can film 5 right now and you're good for the next 5 weeks. And then you could do another 5 and you're good for the next 5 weeks. That's the whole idea of what I talked about with Hootsuite, Buffer. Later, you can map out the 30 days, 60 days and have them auto post and you're set. Yes, you can add in extra stuff, but you're set. So it's just about, people want consistency. And by sending out the monthly newsletter once a month, by posting a social media, once a week or whatever your plan is, by being on YouTube once a week or whatever the plan, or once a month, whatever the plan is, by doing certain things like that and being consistent, and if you do that year after year after year, that's when crazy stuff starts happening. So it's just being consistent, and don't obsess again on if you invite people to a happy hour or an event, don't obsess. Well, what am I going to just, hey, I'm going to do a virtual happy hour. It's going to be an hour long. We're just all going to hang out at our houses and talk about nothing. Anyone who wants to come can come. And guess what? Some people come, some people don't come. But if you do that once a month, it's 12 interactions with people. And my experience is it does lead to something. The email newsletter, 12 a month, does lead to something. The posting on LinkedIn does lead to something. Doing the YouTube video does lead to something. Now, out of all those things, my company and me, we happen to do all those things. However, do you need to do all of them? No, you want to do the ones that you actually like doing, because people will feel that and see that, you know. But do I believe email marketing is effective? Yes. Do I believe that YouTube works? Yes. Do I believe that hosting virtual events work? Yes. So, but just figure out what works for you, because you can only do so much, or maybe you can do more. It depends on who you are. So consistency, number one. Number two is follow up. So you have to follow up. I know it's so annoying, but you have to. So there's people that registered for this event, for every event that I host too. I do over 50 a year. That when people register for events, you send an email. You send an email to them, and you say thank you for registering. Here's a copy of the presentation. Why? Because tons and tons and tons of people register for events that they don't go to. But a lot of times they register because they like the idea. They want to learn more. So I have personally been hired and made thousands of dollars, more than that actually, from people that never came to my events. I have a client that's been paying me for like 5 years. He's very kind of more shy. He registered for one of my events. I said, thank you for registering. I don't say thank you for coming. I said, thank you for registering. Here's a copy of the presentation, blah, 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 blah. It was an in-person event a long time ago. Here's a copy of the presentation. Thank you for registering. Here you go. If you want to talk on the phone about it, I'm more happy. He called me. I talked to him on the phone about it. And he hired me. And he's never been to one of my events. He's paid me thousands of dollars. So the idea is, if someone registered for an event, send them an email. Thank you for registering. Here's a copy of the presentation. If someone connects with you on LinkedIn, you don't send them a message, thanks for connecting. That's not very helpful. What you do is instead, after they connect with you on LinkedIn, you wait till you have a virtual event, or you wait till you have something, and then you invite them. Love to invite you to this event. They don't come. I'd love to invite you. They don't come. I'd love to invite you. Now you're inviting them 3 times. Instead of selling, you're inviting. And they see that on LinkedIn. They go, oh, that's different. Most people on LinkedIn are trying to sell me all the time. And when you're inviting, you're not inviting them. I'm inviting you to an event where I'm going to sell you. No, you're inviting them to an event that you think might be interesting to them, where you're going to educate or talk about X, Y, Z. And then what happens is eventually say, I feel bad I haven't made 10 of your events. Why don't we have coffee or tea, or why don't we do a virtual call or something like that? So that's my point. It's just staying top of mind and engaging with people. Okay. Let's see.
This is Talia. I'd like to make a quick point.
Sure.
Just so everyone on the phone, this is Talia Wise. I'm the interim director of marketing for CEB. And before coming to CEB, I actually consulted to many different startups on how to do their marketing. So I know for a fact everything David says is true. You've got to be consistent in your messaging, consistent in your activities. But I also wanted to touch on the idea of creating expectation of when you see something called lift. If you're not consistent, you are not going to see any efficacy of what you're doing. And 6 months is a really good timeline for looking for results. Please don't think like, oh, I'm going to do this and like right away it's going to go viral and I'm going to have 1 million customers coming in. It's like what David said, it's like exercise. It's like you're training for that marathon and you're going to be ready to run at that 6 month point. And 6 months is a really good benchmark, I think, for looking for returns on your investments of time. And again, to parrot what David said, you don't need to do everything once a month on that date. You can load it up ahead of time. You can do 5 videos in one day. And the greatest thing that has changed, especially in the past 3 or 4 or 5 years, is that the expectation of professional videos has gone way down. You do not have to spend a ton of money on your videos anymore. You can do quick little videos with your phone, and people accept that nowadays. So that should save you a lot of anxiety and grief over making sure that you're looking professional. The most important things that you should have in your content is information that is valuable to the audience you are trying to reach.
Yeah. So so the main thing is that I try to do is try to eliminate head trash, because head trash is, well, the email newsletter isn't perfect. The website isn't perfect. The event isn't perfect. What happens if no one shows the event? What happens if no one reads the email newsletter? What happens if no one watches the video? What happens if no one, I just try to eliminate that and say, look, sending out the email newsletter, inviting people to events, posting a video on YouTube, having at least a one-page website that's live that just very basically has your picture, who we are, what we do, call us. Doing those things will lead to business. Doing none of those will not lead to business. So just do them, and then you can always add. But people a lot of times get overwhelmed or distracted, or they say, well, I'm focusing on doing my practice of law, not marketing stuff or whatever. And in the business versus on the business. So I try to say, okay, on the business stuff, if you can just really make it simple and clean and easy, it can go out, and it still protects your brand. It's still clean. It's still easy, and you have good expectations. But yeah, I think I have lots more videos, a lot more content. My book on this stuff. I'm more happy to share that with people. I enjoy speaking to CEB. I believe I have. This might be like this 7th time I've spoken to CEB. 7th or 8th. I think I have another CEB talk I'm doing in next month or something. I'm more, and I encourage you to come to that event. And I also have my own events. But nowadays with virtual, everything's, for the most part, everything's out there, and I encourage you to attend more stuff.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you, David. And thank you, Talia, as well. You gave us
Yeah, that was good.
Really great takeaways. I appreciate your time. It's always very fun and great working with you. And as David mentioned, we encourage you to join us again next week for his 2nd webinar on turning your network into revenue. Before we go, I just have a few notes on where to find the webinar and what you can expect in today's email. So we'll send an email out with the speaker deck, and there'll be a link to a short survey. That email also has information on how you can request a free copy of David's book, Law Firm Business Growth Strategies, a practical 9-step guide to digital marketing. So just make sure you check out that email.